Okay, let's unpack this immediately because I think everyone listening knows the scenario intimately.
Oh, for sure.
You wake up, maybe you even got 8 hours of sleep, you don't have a fight scheduled, you don't have heavy physical work, the day is, by all accounts, normal.
And yet
by late afternoon, you hit a wall. You feel like your internal battery is hovering at 1%, sluggish, and you suddenly want to scream over something as minor as a dropped pen.
that brain fog, that fatigue that feels, well, it feels out of proportion to your actual activity. It's absolutely universal.
It is.
And for curious people, those interested in self-improvement or, anyone engaged in spirituality, they often run straight into the same misdiagnosis trap.
We do, don't we? We turn inward and think, there must be a profound spiritual blockage, or I've lost my connection to the universe, or I'm fundamentally lazy or flawed.
Right. We manufacture this huge, dramatic internal reason for an exhaustion that is actually just simple biological arithmetic.
So the idea is to move past that drama.
Precisely. We need to set those interpretations aside for a moment and examine the underlying biology. That exhaustion isn't a failure of spirit. It's the cost of paying a relentless, silent biological debt.
A debt.
We're constantly paying what we call the hidden energy tax.
I like that, the hidden energy tax. So the mission of this deep dive is to look at the actual physiological mechanism that explains the systemic draining.
Exactly. And we're talking about a core scientific concept here, allostatic load.
An allostatic load, okay.
Allostatic load is the cumulative burden of constant adaptation.
Adaptation to what, exactly?
To everything. To understand it, we have to change how we view our bodies. We usually assume the body wants homeostasis, staying perfectly stable.
Right, a nice flat line.
But in reality, the body is constantly working, constantly adjusting, seeking allostasis. This is dynamic stability, the ability to respond and bounce back repeatedly from all the little stressors.
So it's not the acute, obvious stressor that breaks us, the car crash or the big argument.
Not always, no. It's the continuous effort required just to bounce back and stay functioning hour after hour.
I think you had a great analogy for this, the smartphone.
Yes. Think about your phone. Your screen is off, so it looks stable and quiet. But in the background, you have dozens of processes running.
The GPS is updating, email is syncing.
Maybe a health app is constantly monitoring data. And what happens? The phone heats up and that battery drains silently, even though you aren't actively using it.
That heating up is the perfect metaphor for what's happening inside us. We're running all these background processes we don't even realize are active.
And the key insight, the rule we have to internalize, is that every single adjustment the body makes, no matter how small or unconscious, has an energy price to pay.
And we're not paying in money.
We pay that price in concentration, in emotional regulation, in patience, and eventually in our overall vitality. That is the currency of the hidden energy tax.
Okay, let's unpack this tax metaphor further. What are the specific categories of these drainers? Where exactly is our energy vanishing?
Well, we've identified 5 primary taxes we pay daily. The first one is absolutely massive in modern life, the social tax.
The social tax.
This is the energy consumed by forced public performance. It's when you constantly monitor your speech, force a smile in an uncomfortable meeting, or you're perpetually scanning the emotions of others.
Asking yourself, are they judging me? Do they like me? Is this acceptable?
Exactly. That constant low-level fear of judgment activates the brain's alert system.
It's like having your fire alarm set to go off every time someone walks by the house. That low-level, sustained vigilance, it has to consume massive amounts of fuel.
It does. Then you have the mental tax, which is paid by recursive thought.
Meaning?
Worrying repeatedly about things that haven't happened yet, or things that are already over and done with, but you just replay the script 3 dozen times in your head.
That repetitive, unproductive thought is using up resources meant for actual problem solving.
Right. And then there's one that's often overlooked, the environmental friction tax.
Environmental friction. So like the world around you.
Yes. Working or living in a chaotic space, loud noise from traffic, excessive glare from a screen, or just intense clutter on your desk. Your brain has to constantly expend energy to filter out this junk data just to allow you a minimal level of focus.
It's a nonstop internal battle against your surroundings.
We also have to include the direct physical cost, which is the physical burden tax. This is just the cumulative energy required to manage minor aches, chronic pain, a minor illness, or inflammation from a poor diet.
Even a low-level headache forces your body to allocate resources away from high-level thinking just to manage the discomfort.
And finally, the highest interest loan we can possibly take out.
The sleep debt tax.
Exactly. When we accumulate sleep deficits and try to push through them using stimulants like coffee or sugar, we are borrowing energy at a crippling interest rate. The energy you get is synthetic and borrowed, and the cumulative debt guarantees a future crash.
So when all these taxes pile up, social, mental, environmental, physical, sleep debt, what happens to the body?
Your body is forced into that state we mentioned earlier, hypermetabolism. It's not just tired, it's running high.
What does that mean, running high?
It means that the sustained low-level output of stress hormones like cortisol forces your system to burn through fuel much faster than necessary. You might not feel stressed consciously, but your engine is running hot, burning excess reserves just to stay parked.
And the warning sign that you've entered this state isn't a sudden collapse.
No, it's the sluggishness, the slow decision-making, the difficulty articulating simple thoughts, and that quick-to-anger irritability over really insignificant things.
This is your body signaling energy budget bankruptcy.
Right. It's forcing a drastic power-saving mode to protect your core systems. It's the body saying, I've used up the reserves for non-essential things like patience and sophisticated thought. Now I must conserve for survival.
Okay, this next part is so important, this misinterpretation of the signals. I think everyone in our audience has done this, especially if you're focused on self-development.
It's almost unavoidable.
We have this clear physical drain, but why do we always reach for a spiritual or psychological answer instead of just drinking some water or going to bed?
Because we were so disconnected from our internal nervous system, which is called interoception.
Interoception?
Right. This system is constantly reporting physical feelings from the lungs, the heart, the gut, muscle tension, straight back to the brain. It's asking, how quickly is my heart racing? Am I hungry? Am I physically safe?
And the crucial point here is that often the inner guidance or the intuitive signal you think you're hearing isn't some deep wisdom from the universe.
It's just the body loudly complaining because you haven't been listening to its basic screaming needs.
Let's get into some specific examples of this, the spiritual bypassing trap.
Okay, so when the body is genuinely drained and you feel severe fatigue, the physical signal is simply rest and repair needed. That's it.
But we interpret this as, I'm worthless, I'm lazy, or I'm deeply burnt out and I need a major life overhaul.
Precisely. Or when your system is hyper alert from accumulated debt and you feel that tightness or palpitations in your chest, the physical signal is just the fight or flight system is activated due to a perceived threat.
But we immediately turn it into a whole narrative. Bad omens are coming, or my partner must be cheating on me because I feel unsettled.
And a huge one, brain fog. The neurological RAM is just overloaded with clutter from poor sleep and worry.
And we interpret that as, I'm not suited for this path. The universe is blocking me from success.
We take a clear, fixable physical issue caused by a high hidden energy tax and immediately warp it into a profound spiritual drama. That tendency is what we define as spiritual bypassing.
Using spiritual concepts to ignore the practical physical truth.
It raises a really important, almost philosophical question. When your system is in massive debt, can you even trust the signals you are receiving?
That's a good question.
And the fundamental rule here is profound. It's something you have to apply ruthlessly. Do not attempt to interpret profound spiritual or life-altering signals on days when basic physical care has been thoroughly neglected.
So if you are sleep-deprived, relying on junk food for energy, and stressed out of your mind from a high social tax,
the signals you receive are just noise, not true, reliable signal. You have to stabilize the operating system first.
So how do we stabilize it? We need a concrete action plan, a toolkit to measure, decode, and manage this debt instead of just worrying about it.
Let's start with Toolkit 1, the energy tax meter. This is your quick daily audit.
How does it work?
You just rate yourself quickly, 0 to 10, 0 being low tax, 10 being a maximum burden on 5 specific categories.
Okay, so you can do a quick mental tally right now. T1, sleep debt, what's your deficit looking like?
T2, physical burden. How much are those minor aches, pains, or diet inflammation costing you?
T3, mental worry burden. How much circular thinking or constant trivial decision-making is going on?
T4, social tax. How much emotional monitoring or people-pleasing is happening today?
And T5, environmental friction noise, clutter, uncomfortable temperature. You add up those 5 scores. My score is 50.
And the zones derived from this meter are crucial for protecting your judgment. 0 to 18 is the green zone, Low tax, you can proceed with confidence on difficult work.
19 to 30 is the yellow zone.
The tax is high, you should start repairing the leaks immediately, but you can still function. But the most important zone is 31 and above, the red zone.
And there's an iron rule for that red zone, that moment of bankruptcy, right?
Do not make any major decisions today. Your perception is warped, your brain is in panic mode, and your judgment is skewed entirely by the debt. Do not quit your job, do not break up with someone.
Don't make a major financial commitment.
Just go to sleep first.
But what if the emotional debt itself is causing me to feel like I have to quit my job? How do I tell the difference between debt panic and a genuine intuitive signal that this path is wrong?
That is the perfect question. If the signal is genuine, it will persist after you've slept 8 hours, eaten a balanced meal, and reduced your tax score by even 5 points.
So if the impulse vanishes once the physical system is stable,
It was a debt panic. If it remains, it's a real signal. The red zone rule protects you from making life-altering decisions based on manufactured noise.
that is powerful advice. Now let's move to toolkit 2, interoception decode. When you feel that anxiety bubble up, you need to check the body like a researcher checks their equipment.
Exactly. Check these 3 critical physical points. Point A is the breath. Is it shallow? Is it stuck in your throat? Or rapid?
And if it is,
If yes, the sympathetic alert system is active. The fix is immediate and powerful. Exhale longer than you inhale 6 times. This immediately applies the parasympathetic brake to the nervous system.
okay, point B, the chest and heart.
Right. Is it tight, heavy, or racing without cause? That feeling usually signals the burden from external expectations or a fear of judgment.
The fix here,
Is to immediately drop one urgent thing. Courageously let go of what doesn't have to be done right this second.
and finally, point C,
The stomach and gut. Is it churning, or do you have that strange, desperate hunger that feels like anxiety?
I know that feeling.
That's the body pleading for foundational safety. So the fix is foundational. Drink water, eat real food protein, fat, fiber, and avoid the quick, false boost of pure sugar, or just walk slowly for 5 minutes to ground your system.
So that brings us to the last tool, toolkit 3, the energy budget. This is about shifting our mindset.
Shifting away from that dangerous belief that we have unlimited energy reserves for performance.
This is where the math of the tax meter comes back in.
Right, you start with 100% total available energy. You subtract your tax meter score. So if your tax score is 60, your net energy for the day is 40%.
And the spending rule is simple.
Simple, but it requires discipline. If your net energy is below 40%, you can only attempt one important task that day.
One, that's it.
That's it.
And accepting that limitation isn't laziness, it's wise body utilization.
Exactly. If you try to do 5 things when your net energy is 30%, you are essentially stealing energy from your future self. You're forcing that hypermetabolism to accelerate.
And that process speeds up aging, reduces long-term cognitive function, and guarantees decline.
The moment you accept, today I can only commit to this one important task, you stop paying that premium tax, and you start the slow process of repaying your debt.
So let's bring it all together. What does this look like in the context of a week, a structured path for integrating these tools?
Day 1 is the audit. Use the tax meter to find your highest tax area, your biggest debtor. That's where you focus your repair efforts first.
Day 2 is the intervention. Attack that biggest debtor with one concrete action. If social tax is the highest, cancel one non-essential appointment. Practice saying no.
Day 3 is reconnect. Practice decoding your body signals, breath, chest, and gut at least twice a day. Start tracking the data. What does a high-tax day actually feel like in your body?
Day 4 is budgeting. You need the courage to stick to that low energy, low output rule, even when society's screaming at you to produce.
Day 5 is forecast. Look ahead 72 hours. Which meeting or deadline is likely to generate a massive tax? Proactively reduce the burden on that day before it arrives.
And here's a foundational psychological step on day 6, the meaning check.
Yes. For the tasks that consume the most energy, ask yourself, am I doing this to prove my worth to others, or am I doing this to respect my commitment to myself?
Actions done to prove carry a massive tax.
A crippling tax, because they rely on external validation. Actions done to respect yourself actually pay dividends.
And finally, day 7.
Day 7 is a review. Check your data. Has your overall tax score dropped this week? Is your recovery time from stress faster? Are you better at distinguishing the body's true voice from the mental drama of debt panic?
So what this all means for the big picture of personal growth? Yeah. It seems that stability in life isn't achieved by forcing yourself to become more elevated through sheer willpower.
No, that's just spiritual bypassing.
It's achieved by the practical, consistent work of reducing this unseen tax and accurately reading your body's language.
When you successfully lower that hidden energy tax, the nervous system calms down and finally feels safe. And when the system is calm, the true signals can finally emerge, uncluttered by panic and debt.
So those true life changes, those big timeline shift signals you might be waiting for, the real intuition about a career change or a new direction.
They will only become clear and strong when the physical system is stable.
When you have freed up all this wasted energy, you can finally start seeing the signs of change and growth instead of just noise.
So for today, just go home and check your energy tax, see where you are overpaying, and commit to paying down just one of those debts this week.
Be kind to your body. Give it the stability it needs to show you the way forward. Until the next deep dive, we'll see you then.